What's up, Cave Dwellers? My name is Squirt, and welcome to the Week 4 Rundown. We had a pretty action-packed week, of course. A battle Monday night. We had a dude, and we had Julio putting up over 300 yards. So let's get into it. We'll start with the East Lords versus Butt Snorkler. East Lords taking this one 120-70. We'll start with Dan on this one because I don't even want to talk about myself. I labeled this matchup Pure Dominance versus Pure Butt Cheeks because I put up a total of 70 points, and that's god-awful. Moving on to the East Lords, we had Russell Wilson, LaShawn McCoy, and DeMarco Murray all totaling over 20 points, while Allen Hurns and the Bills D put up over 10. DeAndre Hopkins put up 1 point. It's pretty notable. He's usually a guy to rely on, and he didn't put up much, but Dan doesn't really need him, it looks like. Putting up 120. Moving on to my team, my MVP would be Christine Michael, as he's the only guy that seems to like to show up. Is Gronk ever going to show up? Anybody? Probably not. Might as well sit him at this point, but I'm a strong believer of the Gronk. He'll come around with Tom back, and I think he'll square it away. I don't believe the rumors of him not playing. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about my team much. So we'll move on to the Battle of Monday night in Drew versus Ed. The Green Bastards taking this one 134 over D's Nuts 128. We'll start with Drew's team. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in double digits going into Monday night. I don't even know what the Vikings scored. Nope, not 10, but hey, good week for Drew, and he's going to be moving to 2-2 in the East. Moving on to Ed's team. AJ Green had 33 points, which is a huge week. He also had Greg Olsen and Jeremy Curley putting up 21 and 20 each. It's a pretty good week for Ed. He just played a pretty good team in Drew. I still have faith in Ed's team. I think he's got a pretty good team. He's riding a nice 2-2 streak into this week, and I think he'll be alright. Moving on to Drew, Team Blitzkrieg versus the Gary Bertiers, Joey P, Father Jerry. We had Drew win this one. We had a total of 126 to 115. Starting with Drew, I noted Drew wins again. Comes right into the Dwellers and dominates. Michael Crabtree had 3 touchdowns, totaling 33 points, while Ezekiel Elliott had 21. It's a huge week for Drew, and he continues to cruise through this league. Moving on to the Gary Bertiers. Pretty sure he was in the title last year, and he's going to move to 1-2-1 after this week. Going into Monday night, it looked pretty promising. With Sterling Shepard going, not down by much. He needed only, it looks like, 12 points to win versus the Blair Walsh, but he still couldn't do it, Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard didn't put up much. At 115, he had like 8 points. So Gary Bertier falls this week again. Actually, not again. He won last week, excuse me. Moving on to White Lightning in Jared versus Romo wins titles. Ryan Brady. I'm going to start with Jared on this one. He had a solid week overall. He had 6 people with over 10 points. Carlos Hyde, Jeremy Maclin, Mikey Wallace, Philip Dorsett, Zach Miller, and the Broncos D. It's a solid week for all. He had John Brown on his bench with 24, but still had a good week. Moving on to Brady and Romo's wins titles. He had, Romo wins titles, 97 he ended with. Big thing to note, he left Julius Thomas on his bench. Hurts. Seems like he didn't wake up for the 9 a.m. game, which surprised me because he wakes up early every week. So, Brady, what are you doing here, kid? Come on now. Still had a pretty decent week. He had 5 people with over 10 points. So, put a tight end in the lineup this week and you might be alright. Moving on to Dave versus Russ. Y'all want to win? Put Booby in versus Team Gilliam. The tightest matchup of the week. Dave taking this one 149 to 142. Starting with Dave, you had Matt Ryan and Julio combo. It's gonna be good for you this week. 33 and 49. That's enough to win any week. Even with Odell, Jesus Christ, Odell having a fluke week, crying out there, being a pansy, still was able to get it done. Moving on to Russ's team, still had a big week, but Dave had a bigger one. He had Matt Jones with 21, Will Fuller V with 27, and Emmanuel Sanders with 22. Still couldn't get the job done. Moving on to the final matchup of the week, Nelson, the Dirty Naders, versus Glenn, the Golden Goats. Nelson taking this one 171 to 134. One thing I noted on this one is Nelly is back. He's back, boys. Watch out. And he is hot. Getting Isaiah Crowell in the lineup, putting up 22 right off the bat. It's going to be big for you. Big Ben, 32. Antonio Brown, 22. Steve Smith Sr., 26. And Eddie Royal, 24. Good job, Nelly. Moving on to Glenn. Still had a good week. He had 8 people out of his 10 starting slots with over 10 points, and he still lost. I don't know how better you could do, Glenn. He had Le'Veon with 22 and Demaryius Thomas with 21. Better luck next time, Glenn, but I wouldn't be too pissed. It's a solid week. You beat almost everyone in this league. Actually, you would tie Drew. You would lose to Russ and Dave, but other than that, it looks like you're smooth sailing. Moving on to the awards this week. Top scorer, Julio Jones. Worst play, Julius Thomas. Best play, Jordan Howard over Jamal Charles. I'm pretty sure that was Brady. And Battle of Monday Night, Drew beats Ed because of Eli and Brown not showing up. And the Dude Award goes to Squirt, because that was a pretty fucking terrible week. Going on to the standings, I just have to pull it up here real quick. We have the East Lords sitting at top at 3-1, along with Team Blitzkrieg at 3-1 in the West. Those are the teams to beat. Going right down the list, East Lords 3-1, Golden Goats 2-2, Dirty Naders 2-2, D's Nuts 2-2, the Green Bastards 2-2, and Butt Snorkeler 1-3. It's a tough division. Everyone's pretty close. If Squirt wins 2 games, he's back in it. Moving on to the West, Team Blitzkrieg 3-1, White Lightning 2-1-1, Team Gilliam 2-2. Y'all wanna win? Put Booby in. 2-2. The Gary Bertiers 1-2-1, and Romo wins titles 1-3. Something to note: a lot of the top 3 winners of last year are in last place. So that is Perry, myself, and Brady. I think we have to step it up here. It's pretty piss poor, but. Until next week, hey, it's already Thursday tomorrow. It's not going to be too long. To finish off the show, we have some Oliver Heldings talking. So enjoy your week, and good luck.
You never disappoint week in, week out. Chris Jackson says, Heldy Radio is the only reason traffic jams